Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Hello YouTube. In this video we are going to see how can you get success in your IT career, or more specifically speaking, if you are in web development field, how can you get more success and how can you get the high paying job for you, and how can you create the profile so that you can get the job. So I'm gonna guide you through all these things in this video, okay? And all the one thing which I am also gonna cover in this video is the trending topic nowadays, which is nothing but full stack development. So I will tell you what full stack development is, how much package a full stack developer can get, then what are the things you need to learn to become a full stack developer, and the technologies needed for full stack development. So I'm gonna guide you through all these things in this video, okay? So before starting web development or before starting the full stack development, you need to have the basic understanding of web applications, how they work. Because we know that in any web application, basically there are two sides, front end and back end, right? But we know that the web development is three-tier architecture, in which the three tiers are front end, server side and database. Server side and database are basically included in backend. Server side always contains the business logic of our application, and database stores the data of application, and front end is nothing but whatever we see on the screen, right? The user interface, we can call it as, okay? So in front end, the user interface development comes. Then in server side, we develop the business logic, and in database we develop data. So in front end, first of all, the languages which you are gonna need are HTML, CSS and JavaScript. These are the basic languages which you need to master. And if you are in the web development, you must be very good at least HTML and CSS, right? Then after learning languages, you need to look at the frameworks, okay? So frameworks, for example, first one is Bootstrap. Bootstrap is one of the CSS frameworks. Now what is CSS? You know that HTML is used for scripting, like on what part of screen what thing should come, that is what we decide using HTML. Then CSS is used for styling, and JavaScript is used for responsiveness and to make our website more responsive, okay? So you need to learn at least a few of the frameworks. For example, Bootstrap is a CSS framework which helps the styling things in our website. It makes styling more efficient. Then there are JavaScript frameworks which are Angular, then Vue.js, then there is JavaScript library like jQuery, React. So if you learn Angular, then React, then you must get a high paying job, because even if you right now you search on Google, there are a lot of vacancies available for Angular developer, then React developer, okay? So you need to understand these things in front end part. jQuery is also one of the library of JavaScript which make JavaScript language easy to write, okay? So this is all about front end and the languages and the frameworks in front end, okay? Now using front end, let's say we have developed a UI for our website. Then we must have the business logic of the website, right? Like server side, okay? So in server side we have the business logic, like for what input what output should be given. The processing part is done at server side. So in server side you need to learn the basic languages like Python, C++, C, PHP, Java, Go. And yes, JavaScript I have mentioned here because nowadays the development in JavaScript is possible at server side also, and which is made possible because of our Node.js. Thanks to Node.js. And then in server side, if you want to become a good server side developer, then you need to learn at least one programming language in deep. Like you need to master at least one programming language. Then you can move on to frameworks. There are different frameworks available. For example, Django and Flask are Python frameworks. Then Spring is Java's framework. Then Node.js is not a framework, but it's a JavaScript runtime environment which helps us to run the JavaScript code on server side. After server side, we move on to databases. In database, we know that we store data, right? Whatever the data needs for processing at server, or whatever the data we accept from front end from the user, we store that data in our database. Okay, so the most basic languages or technologies used in database management are MySQL and Oracle. Okay, there are more advanced languages or technologies are also available. For example, MongoDB. You can learn those as well. Okay, so this is all about front end, server side, and database. So if you want to learn, or if you want to become a full stack developer, you need to good at like in in at least one technology from every field. Okay, you need to good at in at least one technology from every field. For example, in front end you can master HTML, CSS. Then you can learn Bootstrap, Angular, and React. Then in server side, if you ask me, you can learn Python or Java or PHP.